All right, let's get into map picks and bans for the very first time here at the Blast R6 Manchester Major. Where will this quarterfinal be played out?
Starting with a pick with Chalet, that's not too surprising from BDS, one of the highest rated map, I think the second actually. Looking at Secret, it's also a great map, right? They've beaten FaZe on it, entering the tournament 7-3 quite convincingly.
It was a curious one because that map ban with FaZe was one where Secret and FaZe, basically nobody wanted to ban it because it was both teams permaban. They ended up playing and beating FaZe on that map. But the one thing that I will say for BDS on Chalet as well, the two new imports, Users and Solotov, came from M&M, who were an incredible Chalet team. And it's a map that BDS never had in their locker with Chalet. The old BDS didn't like Chalet at all. It was one of their permabans. Now they play it because they've got that kind of M&M methodology on it. It's become one of their favorite maps.
And they've already good experience on it. They actually played it twice this stage and beat comfortably ITB and Fnatic in regular win. So I think overall, they're feeling really confident on this one.
Let's keep moving forward. Let's see where we are going next. And the next pick is Bank.
Secret absolutely love Bank. It's literally one of their favorite maps. It has been for, I mean, every iteration of a Secret roster seems to love Bank. You go way back when. And I think it's quite a smart pick. It's one that Secret have played in this tournament. I believe they're unbeaten on it in this tournament.
Yes, they are.
Yep, Leo's going to fact check me there. Thank you very much. And it's one that BDS, it's a map that BDS haven't necessarily played. It's one that had been quite low preference for quite a long time. However, BDS have also played it inside of this tournament.
BDS actually has a 4-map win streak on Bank. It's just that it's not a map that they actually play very much.
Yep.
It's actually the most banned map of 2024. So I think they picked into a hole, but at the same time, quite consistent and they're reliable on Bank.
And then our decider is going to be Clubhouse. Now, both teams absolutely love Clubhouse. I would argue that BDS maybe have a little bit more longevity on the map. It's a map that they've been unreal at for absolute years. But if I take you all the way back to EUL, Clubhouse was a map that really kick-started Secret's EUL stage, where they came out the box, we didn't know what Secret would be like, and they came out on Clubhouse and they absolutely rocked it. So they love the map as well. So I feel like that's a great decider if we get there.
Predictions, last second. I just want team name. Who's going to the semis?
BDS.
BDS.
Manchester, are we ready for our first quarterfinal? All right, let's bring them out, starting with a super team Sir Alex would be proud of. It's BDS! Star-studded flexibility, confidence, raw gunpowder, aggression. BDS are on a mission to put themselves back on top at a major for the first time since sweet Sweden 2 years ago. We know that they're feeling confident. It's almost like they're feeling themselves again as they take their seats, hoping not for the last time here in the quarterfinals because they've got a tough opponent for them. It's the first team to make the main stage. The truth is out. Team Secrets! In tremendous form, going 3-0 in phase 2. The crowd love them. 4 of these players have never played on a main stage, but look at them, they look right at home here in Manchester. Have they found the secret to success? This is a real chance to prove that to be true. Let's get into our very first quarterfinal. BDS versus Team Secret. We're ready to get into this one with our casters, Ollie and Demo.
Thank you very much indeed. We are going to be covering the first quarterfinal here. We've got BDS and we have got Secret. What an occasion here in Manchester, Demo.
European derby to kick things off right from the get-go. I'm sure some of the crowd would, oh, why are we seeing EU versus EU again? But hopefully, guys, we might be able to get them in the grand final for it, so yeah.
Yeah, we want to get all our inter-regionals out inside of the quarters, and we're doing that here and now with Team Secret and BDS, of course. They've had an incredible introduction there. The desk has done a fantastic job. I cannot wait to get into this. This is actually a game that we covered during the regular stage of EUL. And it was a game that was played out on Skyscraper. We saw the stats for that game, and it was a very close series. And I'm expecting nothing else here today. I want all 3 maps. I want a close series.
Well, that's up to the teams to see if they want to deliver. Obviously, we move into a territory where you're in front of the crowd. A lot of energy is going to be flowing in through this arena. This is where the teams can almost play off that energy, play off the momentum to see what the crowd can feed into them. Obviously, for the side of Secret, 4 of these guys haven't experienced this. BDS, they've been there, they've done that. 3 of those guys have lifted a championship before. So it is a little bit unequal in terms of experience, but I suppose Secret coming in, being an underdog team, what do they have to lose?
I mean, you say a little bit. I mean, that's maybe a bit of an understatement there. The golfing experience, especially when it comes to
You've got Miracle. He's been there before.
2 times at a stage, especially when it comes to this point of a competition, it is absolutely massive. So we will see, of course, how that plays into things. Looking toward the maps that we've got in this series, we've got a chalet and a bank guaranteed, and we will use a clubhouse as a decider if we need it. Now, I was kind of curious over the bank pick particularly. Have you got any thoughts on the chalet one to kick us off, Demo?
Well, I think chalet, again, I think Jack mentioned it really well. You're bringing in 2 players from M&M, Soltov and Uzis. Chalet, we've seen for, got to 2 years, that was, M&M were one of the best teams in the world on that map specifically. And it was, whenever the changes came about, you're almost combining 2 teams together into one. So you'll be able to bring not just, BDS strats and getting the M&M guys used to that, but also having the experience from those guys in Chalet and being able to bring that into the BDS map pool. So I think overall it kind of combines the best of both worlds, you would like to say. But even I think in a map like Chalet, I think EFAC, he personally really enjoys that. I just don't think he necessarily had the players previously to go for a map like that. Whenever you have users in Soltov who can assist you with that, EFAC can go and do what he wants. He can play the trap plays that we know he's famous for.
Well, they are on a 3-map win streak over on this map, so that could bode well for them indeed as well. Moving on toward the bank pick there, that for all intents and purposes, a permaban from BDS coming out here.
Yeah, they've hit it. Yeah,
and a map that is very comfortable for Secret, but you mentioned there, they've hidden it. They are a 9-map pool team. Do not make any mistake. So that, again, just plays into how this series is going to go.
You can see also the defense pick for both sides. BDS going straight for the defense pick on Chalet, defense pick for Bank, for Secret, which is really surprising because Bank is actually the most attacker-sided map that we currently have in the whole tournament, a 40% win rate for the defense. So it's actually not as favorable as what you would think, but I think Secret, look, they'll probably feel confident in themselves. That's their map. That's where you would expect to see Secret perform and do really well on. Look, I think Club's got, it's written in the stars for me.
Now, the other question, with representation from the UK on both sides of the coin here, from both teams, I want to know who the crowd want.
Ask them. They're just back there, mate.
I want to know who the crowd want. Crowd, do you want Secret to win this one?
No, not interested. No.
Not a murmur.
No. What, BDS?
BDS? Any BDS fans in the building?
There we go.
Oh, okay.
I hear boos as well. To be fair, there is a crowd of French as well in the building.
Well,
We've seen Alpha's got some mates in.
It's a short trip, I guess.
Oh.
Well, there we go.
Chaka's just poured something over himself.
Brilliant. Is he waterproof? Maybe not.
That's fresh.
We are looking to get all of the players in the lobby. I think we have actually got everybody in now, so we can get underway very shortly indeed. But we do want to make sure everything's right before hopping on into our first map of Chalet here. What does the social vote say? Oh, okay.
Ooh. Dangerous.
The social vote back in the crowd vote then.
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair to say. 63% to 37 for Secret, for BDS and Team Secret there coming in. I think that makes sense, and it sort of feeds into this underdog story that we've been peddling for Team Secret, that they are underdogs in this.
Secret coming into the stage, nobody expect them to get here, let alone be main stage. So I think for Secret, they've got their bonus. Anything now, it's a holiday.
Well, Manchester, are you ready for our first quarterfinal here today? We're going to get loaded up right now. Let's get ourselves into the ban phase now. See exactly what is going to be removed here.
Oh, not this again.
I enjoy it. It's the Dokkaebi. We haven't seen that much Dokkaebi ban.
Nope.
To be fair. With shields being a big thing.
Again, I'm going to find this really difficult today, I think, to get my points into it whenever you've got that in the back. I'll wait till we're done, and then I'll have a little chat.
Well, the Ying ban coming across as well. So no shield ban, Demo. What do we think about the no shield ban?
Hold on, just again, wait. There we go. It's like waiting to cross the road sometimes. Wait for the green man.
I think there might be a bus coming.
Is it coming, you think?
I think so.
Oh, a bit of a slow lock-in.
Bit of a very slow lock-in.
Oh, they don't know.
Big decision.
There we go.
There it is. It's locked in. It is going to be the Fenrir. Not too much surprise here there. We get the Azami through. Obviously, it has its place on every map. It's one of the reasons why it's the most banned defender of the tournament so far, but that will be allowed through. More importantly for me, I think, we've got the shields in play. Now, you don't necessarily think of either team and go, there's a huge shield player on either side, but there are definitely players on either side that can play shields.
I also think the map plays into that. I don't think shields are entirely strong whenever you look at a map like Chalet, just because there is so many flanking options for the defense. You can get in behind the Monty. Again, C4s are going to be options as well from below. Dokbi ban, I think, extremely important to mention. That is Yu's best operator on attack. That is where he has been so proficient in. It's what BDS like to bring, is to give them that opening of go for a phone call, you can slip EFAC in for a play. So I think taking it off the board from Secret is a very wise move.
Well, we're going to be headed to the mid-floor site to start things off here. Downstairs into kitchen and dining. As is the norm, a top floor hold will be required, and that seems to be where Secret are spending a large portion of their utility. We've got some castle barricades going on up there. We've got a couple of the Malusi Banshees getting thrown around as well, and a little bit of a rotation into library if it's required. I think actually Grubby's placed a Banshee there out on that balcony. Obviously a good option to maybe make a bit of an aggressive play off if somebody does get themselves up there.
Yeah, so we'll see how BDS want to deal with this setup. Obviously, Castle Barricade's going to be in play. They may have some issues with that because they don't necessarily have like the biggest amount of range soft destruction. They don't have the Ashe or the Sophia on board. They only really have the Flores, but some of those Castle Barricades are going to be quite difficult to actually get a Flores into the middle of sight. Almost there for Shaiko. Adrian needs to be careful. Not a good start already. EFAC now sending in the drones again, probably looking for any form of information he can deny. Again, Maestro's very common, bulletproofs as well. It can be issued out on this site, but nothing of the sorts for that for Secret's lineup. Again, they're very focused on that top floor. No wall denial, though. Maybe it's been dealt with by the Thatcher, as Users is going to be on the EMPs. But they need to really deal with the top floor, Ollie. That is going to be the issue that BDS need to tackle.
Especially with those angles that are going to be working down, you might have the breach open, but if you haven't got that top floor control, you can still be at risk there of defenders holding onto those angles. Leaky Fat going to try and make something happen here on the bathroom window, but elsewhere it's going to be Shaiko to open things up. Adrian, he was softened up at the start of the round through the drone hole, and he'll eventually be finished off.
They may just be looking for just a jump in through West Main. They can just try and go straight into the site. EFAC with another one. Users perhaps trying to play to try and catch any of the roamers who could be moving in through blue, for example, and try and flank the attackers. But right now it's all eyes on who has the diffuser for BDS. It is going to be Bride, but I think he's on the other side of the map. He's not necessarily in a position where he can go and assist players like Solotov, who can go and maybe support Shaiko and try and get that plant down. He's kind of by himself, I think, towards the library side of things.
A little bit of a stall out here for BDS, but they're waiting for Secret to react. They've got players in position to catch these rotates. Just seeing if they can try and bide that time, but the clock will start to become a factor here, and we can see Bride is going to start to make a bit of a rotation. He's still looking to try and get that wall open, though. He knows that there's occupation here inside of office. With that vert still being held, he can't just push himself through the breach.
Oh, they've missed the EMP. The wall is going to stay electrified. However, the sidewall, though, possibly can get opened up, but here comes the freeze, and that will stop the Selma for the meantime. But right now for Secret, all three players upstairs on the vertical angles, and with BDS being stalled out by the electrification and the Tabaru canisters, they're just going to try and push into sight, but this is where Secret want them to be.
Grubby's got a great angle here at the bottom of Trophy Stairs. He can look to try and aggress on through. He's going to grab himself a second and a third. Grubby here almost single-handedly going to clean up shop. Eventually will be taken down by Users. But look at the time. There's nothing left. Leaky Fact, he's going to find himself one upstairs, but Users is going to get the plant down. Miracle, he has to try and push through, but the drop comes through from Leaky Fact. Timing was perfect there. He can recover his teammate and see if they can start to try and work these vertical angles, but BDS have been given time and space here. They're already out of there.
They can just hold on from the breach, perhaps. They have a long angle. Uses so, rotating in towards short. The other player just sat in the middle of Trophy, it looks like. Miracle, do you have any idea? It doesn't look as though he does. He has no idea, but EFAC, oh, never mind, yes he does! EFAC off the board, and now use this in the 1v2. Diffuser right beside him, they have to make the push now, Secret. Diffuser will start to be taken down by Miracle. Jim has to have the cover. Does he have it? Oh, he missed it. Oh, they both missed it. Use it. He's able to get the clutch. Incredible to kick things off.
What a round for round number 1 here. Big performance. Such a back and forth state to the round as well, but BDS, they get it over the line by the narrowest of margins. Just not enough time to disable that diffuser. And 2 kills going in there that we really expected to go the other way. I've no idea how Miracle got the first onto LeakyFac, and I've also no idea how Users picked up the last.
Both teams really struggling just to win around. You know, it was really back and forth. You thought BDS kicked things off. 2 kills, 3 versus 5, yeah, plenty of time as well, but then you just stall out. And then Secret look as though we're about to win just based off time. Users just about gets the diffuser down. 2v2, swings back into Secret's favor, then back again to BDS's favor. I mean, look, Jim bottled the shots. That's what happened.
Ultimately, there were some shots missed there, and we always talk about the narrow margins here in Siege. Neither of these 2 teams need much of a margin to take an advantage.
10 seconds to go.
Downstairs to the basement we go. Secret not feeling like they want to give it another attempt in the mid-floor. Instead, they're going to take us downstairs.
Attackers are heading out to defuse
Now, for me, BDS moved quite slowly in the previous round. We know them to be a team that like to use the clock, and they are not afraid of, you know, really getting the most out of it on their attacking rounds. They're very comfortable in that final 20 seconds. They're still very comfortable in that final 15. And that was proved there in that previous round. But the stall out could have cost them a little bit more if things hadn't really have gone their way.
Into the basement. This is statistically the worst bomb site for the defense, a 44% win rate. So not as favorable as what you would think it to be. I think the generic attack that you can go for is quite simple. You open up the breaches and you simply just try and plant in towards the trench. It's very, very simple. You can see Secret obviously going to try and stop any access in towards that lobby and also towards the hatch. Look, if somebody's on the hatch from the defense, you can't exactly just walk in the trench then, can you? So it is going to be something that BDS need to address. But right now their main focus is trying to get these walls opened up. Slips in. Oh, just about misses out and was looking for that Maestro camera. Brede will open up the trench wall, nothing there to stop it with the EMPs going out. So that's step 1, get the wall open.
Done a good job to do that as well. They haven't wasted too much time, and it's not really cost them too much utility. They are going to be bringing the Thatcher in just to make things that little bit easier for them. It, of course, is the easiest combination for getting things open nice and easy. Double hard breach as well.
Oh,
you know how important it can be to get everything open there. Shaiko, he might have found himself an entry here. He's got a yellow ping to work with, but Jume's just been flashed out, so he knows that something's up. He's going to take loads of damage through the soft wall there. Shaiko just trying to pen him in, but Savage, meanwhile, will pick up the opener. Solotov, he's been trying there on the floor to get those Rotero drones in and to remove some of those cameras, but he's not been able to.
Oh, BDS crumbling at the seams. This upstairs hold from the 2 Secret players is doing the job. A triple for Adrian and EFAC. All on his lonesome, he gets it down on the Savage, but the damage has been done. He has to find all 5 if he wants to win this round for his side, and with a sliver of HP, it's looking very unlikely. Savage is going to be revived. Flashbang in, is he going to swing? He's going to give Adrian his 4th kill of the round. He's got a couple of yellow pings, sees somebody crouching down in towards West Main, but look at the patience from Secret. They're giving him absolutely nothing to work with. EFAC darting around, diving for all the openings. He will make his way into sight, but as we know, Secret, as long as they have that hatch control, he's not going to be able to plant. He has just walked straight into the middle of the bomb site, but look, it's only going to be a matter of time, and down he goes. A flawless for Secret.
Big round for Secret and a big round for Adrian on that hatch. Really making the TCSG work out for him there on Cade. It's almost comical at points to see Cade playing on an open hatch there, you know, but he's there to be able to re-trick the wall. He's there to be able to stop players from doing exactly that. We said that BDS needed to deal with that player upstairs, and it kind of just left by, it looked like that was just Shaiko's job to do on his own.
Shaiko's like 2 players upstairs. as soon as you notice that, hey, this Oryx just came down from Trophy, there's probably another guy with him in towards Dining. Help Shaiko. You know, all of that pressure was just being pushed in from one area from BDS, and that was only from Trench. But if you don't have the hatch, you cannot plant in towards Trench. You know, like I said, it should be a very favorable bomb site for the attackers, but if you don't do some of the basic stuff right, you will lose.
Level up at 1 round apiece, then we are going to go to Bar and Games for our third choice. Secret still avoiding that mid-floor site inside a kitchen that they lost in round number 1. Instead, just sticking to a nice, clean rotation here. Going to be looking to keep good control upstairs inside of Library. You've of course got Savage on the dock. He's very flexible on this site. You can play a number of different positions with the dock. Typically, you will see them play in a Library, but it looks for the meantime he's going to be going for something a bit cheekier on one of the windows there, just trying to give BDS a little bit of a headache getting themselves in. Adrian as well, primed and ready. June, maybe it's the spawn peak round here for Secret.
He's still got that ranked player in him. As much as we like to dress him up and say he's this aspiring, new, hungry professional player that's came in to the scene, he's still a ranked machine. Let's not beat around the bush there. Interesting change as well from BDS. You know, with that Dokkaebi being banned away, I would say it limits BDS in terms of what they want to achieve with their information gathering. They've now brought in the demos to try and deal with some of that pressure that maybe they are struggling just with those roamers.
Shaco's getting a lot of value out of the Rotero drones there as well. We've seen a lot of Maestro brought by Secret. This time, the cameras are being dealt with. Flores drone into games there to get rid of the first one. There is going to be a second one that is on the radar as well. Leaky Fight currently trying to see if there's anything they can find. We know how deadly that Vendetta pistol can be. And if you bring in the Deimos, then there is an intent there to hunt this roam game, which, to be honest, isn't something that we've seen BDS really give full attention to. Yes, they've done a good job at picking up a few kills, but we haven't seen them fully clear out a roam.
It looks as though they're just trying to find an opening for EFAC. You know, this is what he is known for, the way that EFAC can just maneuver into these positions and open up a bomb site. As long as they can play around him, obviously the information will be fed that there is a guy on blue stairs, but you don't know, EFAC could get the timing and could just walk straight into the site. He will now make his approach, and here we go, straight into the bar. Does anyone from Secret know that he's in here? He's hunting for the player inside a connector, and I don't think they have any idea, and EFAC is ready to open up this bomb site like a can of worms.
How's he been allowed there just to walk in? Savage will rectify the situation with a very quick refrag. Doom, he's going to double down onto things upstairs. For all that Leaky Fact was in the Viper's Nest, he was on his own and it was only good for 1 kill. There is still utility here for Miracle to watch. Solotov, he's going to pick one up on the flank, trying to remove the Kiba barricade now, but conscious of the vertical pressure coming in as well. This again comes down to the fact that Grubby, he's not been hassled up here. He hasn't been cleared out yet. And the kills are going to keep coming through here for Secret. Grubby eventually takes down Solotov. He's still got an Azami fortress up here on these main stairs. It's going to be a scrappy fight, but he wins it out. Another huge play here. 3 kills to close it out.
Oh, the Grubster's in the building, everyone. He is here ready to play. BDS, just not good enough at the moment. You can see the intent, you can see the ideas, but if the initial plan doesn't work, like a deer in the headlights, the idea, EFAC, get him in, cause some issues. But then as soon as he dies, what's the game plan, BDS? Look, I think Azami caused them a lot of issues. Yeah. It's a fortress up there, it really is, that's why we see her. I'm pretty sure she is the most banned defensive operator that we have in the competition, and it's for good reason. Just the fact that you can lock down the top fireplace, in towards Library as well, block off those windows. It is really difficult, I think, for a side to go through all of that utility, and you do kind of have to change some operators. You have to bring certain operators in to deal with that.
BDS had everything.
I mean, they did, but
they had DMRs. They had Flores.
But it's not the way that they want to play those DMRs.
No.
Look at the players who are on those DMRs. They're not the players who are going to be sitting there dealing with the utility. They're going to be the players looking for these openings, looking for these quick backstabs.
Well, and the flip side of it is if you're shooting the barricade with the DMR, you're not shooting the person behind it. So you need to be able to double up in that scenario.
And that's why we say yes, Azami has been changed, where you can just destroy them by bullets, but still, it's you mag dump, then you just get swung. That's the issue with it.
Round number 4 then, and Secret have taken a brief lead here. It's still very early days inside of this best of 3. But it is certainly hotting up. I think it's the multi-kills for me from Secret. We've had, Adrian's had a multi-kill. We've had Grubby with a multi-kill. There's been some big individual performance. Adrian just missing out on a couple of feet shots there. Trying to pay back BDS for round number 1 where he suffered to the same.
So 2-1 for Secret. Looking very comfortable in the previous 2 rounds that they have played, and we will head back into our kitchen bomb site. This, of course, was the place that BDS had won on. It was very close, though, don't forget as well. It did come down right to the bitter end. For Secret, it's this roam game that BDS just have not been able to deal with at the moment. Adrian off the board, down goes the Vigil. It's a good start again for BDS is to get that opening pick on the board. It just applies the pressure onto a team like Secret. You know, BDS, I think, across EU, we had seen plenty of times where that team can just, the pressure they can apply, it suffocates whoever they play against.
We have seen those opening picks converted here previously. BDS are a team that are devastating from ahead, and if they can trade out on that advantage, it's going to be super difficult to deal with. Shaiko just waiting for the walls there to get open for him. The drone's looking to go through. Camera has been hacked, but he does spot out the Valkyrie camera there. Of course, we do have Brava to steal away some of that defender utility. Bit of a hop out there, but immediately Grubby is taken out there by a leaky fact. Solotov finds Doom, and this is looking like a BDS round through and through. There's a whole minute left, and they're in a 5 versus 2, making a 5 versus 1 as Miracle goes down.
Kill back in favor of Secret, but it is all down to Savage. There's going to be no way to get Miracle back up, and EFAC secures it with the nade. So Savage, what can you produce from behind? C4 out, gets nothing, swings in. There's a kill on Debrid. A 1-3-3 now for him, but still a whole lot of work to do. Plenty of time as well for BDS just to think about how they want to approach this. And oh, a drop shot from Uses to secure the kill. BDS from ahead, devastating.
We said that they're a devastating team from ahead, and that was pretty clinical there from BDS. Just goes to show the power of this team and why they performed so well domestically inside of Europe and here at the tournament in Manchester. 2 rounds apiece, and no one going to streak away with a very decisive half at this point. There's still the potential, of course, for a 4-2, but with what we've seen good plays from both sides. Nice little entry there from Usus, and, well, leaky fact.
Probably getting ahead of himself, isn't he?
He was
He sees, oh, 7 kills, need more.
Too aggressive.
Can't be jumping out on the right player. Forget that EFAC. Where did he come from? From the streets. Oh. Somebody... There's no animals allowed in here. What's he doing here?
Round number 5 as we get stuck into things now. Pretty hefty 6-pick from BDS. Maybe not anticipating going into the basement site. I'm surprised because it came so close on that mid-floor. I'm surprised that we've not seen Secret give it another attempt here, but instead they are going to take us downstairs, and it looked like BDS needed a moment just to rearrange the roster for that.
Lineup's actually quite bad in terms of attacking the basement. You only have a Maverick as your only form of opening up walls, and the Blowtorch, it has a certain amount of ammunition inside the canister, so you really will be able to get maybe open the main snowmobile, and then a couple of lines maybe drilled into the long angles, but in terms of opening trench as well, that's going to be quite difficult for them. So unless we're seeing BDS go for a full frontal take and are not looking towards wine whatsoever, yeah, I think they're going to have issues. But looking at the lineup, it is going to be more orientated to try and go for a vertical take. You're bringing in the buck, you're bringing in, of course, the ram. But by doing so, you'll need to attack those roamers that they have struggled with. You know, that has been the issues the last time they attacked down here. So you would hope by bringing in up early the Jackal, they should be able to at least pick up some of those kills of those roamers. Because right now, for Secret, you can see them, they're upstairs and they're not really pressured at the moment.
BDS done a good job of getting that wall open nice and economically. It can now be cleared out there by users with the skeleton key, and they can get that line of sight that they're looking for. But there are roamers to be dealt with here. Don't know if anybody knows of Grubby's location. He's going to take Shaiko down. He will, of course, be called out now, and Solotov is going to be in position to get that back as a trade, but it keeps piling on here for Secret.
Oh, there's another roamer, Savage. Could have went upstairs, but Fix against it. Back down he goes. There is still Doom in towards Dining, of course. But still for Secret, I think they'll be happy to get those kills. And never mind, uses is straight in alongside Bride. 2 kills. Oh, a TK! Uses is down. Bride has botched that one. But still a 2v2. BDS not out of it yet, even though that TK did happen. Soltov upstairs with the round, will try and open up a line of sight and see if he can find anyone inside a connector. And once that's going to be cleared out, it does give Bride the potential option of trying to get a plant down, but there's still a C4, there's still an impact, there's Maestro cameras as well, I'm sure, that they will have to go through. Tense stuff right now.
Not the best position for BDS to find themselves in here. They're going to have to look for a plant inside of Snow. There's no option to rotate over to Trench at this point because, as we've already mentioned, they don't have the hard breach to get that done. Solotov, he's down to the secondary now just to see if he can open up any of the floor or maybe bait out a little bit. Bride, slow walking himself down the fireplace stairs. You do worry about how much information BDS have got right now.
He's going to try and plant straight beside the filing cabinet, but surely a C4, it should be able to upset the apple cart, and in it goes! And oh, it's going to be a trade. Bride took Doom with him. The C4 got launched, but still a 1 versus 1. Miracle up against Solotov. Miracle creeping around. Does he have an angle? Solotov, is he going to firm it? He comes off at the last second, but he doesn't know the Miracle's already crossed into the connector. Miracle stands tall against BDS.
Great play from Miracle there. He had a number of options as to where he could peek from. And there was just too much to check there for Solotov.
Don't have a clue, mate.
Nah, same.
No, it's just mumbling.
I can't believe we got that C4 trade as well.
Oh, incredible. I generally thought, okay, C4 ripped, yeah, no problem. But the fact that Brady's got a fadeaway shot as the C4 has exploded is, wow.
There's the unfortunate
That's
TK.
the moment there, isn't it? That's the moment. Oh, it's a mega trade. Great cinematic shot as well. The guy just glides
It really is. You very seldom get C-trades.
Where's Michael Bay?
Like
Was he involved in that shooting?
you very seldom get C-trades like that. And the thing is, it left the door open for Solotov to clutch that. Yes, it was very difficult and he would have needed to hit a fantastic shot, but there was the option still there for it to happen because of that play. But ultimately, it was a little bit of a stretch too far. And, you know, for all that we sort of questioned BDS's lineup, it worked out. The big problem was Grubby on the top floor. They lost Shaiko so early on. And yes, they got it back as a trade, but that immediately then hampered the work that those, you know, mid-floor players could do in terms of opening up that floor.
It's a kill that shouldn't have happened. He just didn't drone. Simple as that. Anywho, final attack for BDS. I think Secret should be very happy that they've managed to get 3 rounds on the defense on a map like Chalet, where I usually think 4-2 is kind of the norm that you would see from an attacking perspective. So if Secret get another one, they're in really good shape, or in really good position to just take the map. Don't forget, this is BDS's pick as well.
Line scan coming in there now. BDS are really trying everything to get a handle on these roamers.
The lineup, haven't they?
They've gone Deimos, Jackal, there's been Nomad nearly every round, and now we've got the Lion in the mixture as well. Just trying to get a handle on these players. I mean, the Bravo, you could even argue, is that as well. We've seen Users every round he's played it, he's got in, he's hacked that main camera, and he's getting on that and finding that information. Miracle.
Miracle. Are the drones with us?
A little bit of drone hunting there. Obviously got that feeling that he's being watched.
Don't we all?
Sometimes.
Somebody in the walls.
It's just us spectating you, Miracle. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
There is somebody watching you, but don't worry, no one from BDS. Use this on his approach, again with the information, being able to hack that main camera. Again, for BDS, they just want to try and kill that player connector and cause some chaos.
Surely this isn't going to be allowed to happen again. It was LeakyFac previously when we saw this site that was just allowed to walk through.
Is there a goo mine? Is there a goo mine, Ollie?
There's goo mines in places. I mean, that's just landed at LeakyFac's feet right there. I'm not sure how he's got away with that. Flores drone's coming in. I can only imagine that's to clear a goo mine there that potentially was on the floor and to give them that advantage. If they are able to make that walkthrough happen, if they can double up on it, this time it isn't going to work. Miracle, he's aware of that play. He's seen it before, and he's going to take Users down. That puts LeakyFac in a bit of a tough spot because he was looking to really make a pinch play off the back of that.
Oh, flashbang to try and clear away that player above, and EFAC again hunting for that connector player, takes a shot from who knows which way. Oh, and he stabs him right in the face. Doom down. But still, Secret, they hold on. Never mind, Solotov makes it a 2 versus 2. Brede is inside a connector, but he cannot plant the diffuser here. He has to move into bar or into games. Savage on the kitchen short. Adrian towards blue stairs. What about Solotov? He's the player that needs to try and assist his teammate. He has rotated over towards the double window. Can he give the coverage over to Brede, who does have a decent amount of utility, will smoke the door. What about the fire arrow? It's going to go in as well, and the jump in comes in from Solotov. Seeing that the hatch is reinforced, they can maybe try and get that diffuser down. Brede just rotating every which way. Oh, he walks into a frost mat! Where has that came from? Where on earth? Oh my God, Savage! An easy 2K in reality, but what a round, what a frost mat!
There is no such thing as a bad frost mat.
Harking on all week, haven't you?
There is no such thing as a bad frost mat. They
Bomb
are
mat.
all deadly. It's just got to be the right moment.
That frost mat will have a signing session, everyone. You can go and get a picture of the most famous frost mat at the major.
Another big play there. We saw Miracle this time. I've talked about it in the first couple of rounds, but it's becoming a consistent theme. Great shot over onto users there to start it all.
Bullseye.
This was that was a weird play. Looked like he had Commander Pro on it. He sort of lurched forward toward him.
Silky for Miracle, wasn't there? That's a very difficult
Miracle with the 3K, that was the thing.
He has to look one way, look another, and then back the same way again. Just they kept pushing in one by one. But
so far, we've had 4 triple kills for the side of Secret. We've had Grubby's had 2. Adrian's had 1, and now Miracle comes in with 1 as well. The individual performance on this lineup today so far has been insane.
The general idea from BDS just seems to be revolved around, we take 1 kill and then hopefully they'll crumble. That's not happening. Secret will lose a player, but then respond with 2 back. That's what's going wrong with BDS. They're almost, their game plan seems to be focused on, let's hope Secret aren't watching this. Let's hope Secret miss that shot. You cannot rely on your opponents giving you that.
BDS have been, throughout the course of the season, very good at taking calculated risks and making those plays. Those calculated risks today, they haven't worked out. You know, players just trying to walk into site, pick up a kill, and then make something happen from there. We've seen it attempted twice. We've seen it fail twice. Super difficult, especially when that's, you know, been the game plan. And it has looked as though they were split. Maybe now that they've switched onto the fence, they will see a little bit more favor. They can, you know, really sort of start to lean into some things. I mean, already look at this lineup. This just tells me that they are setting up shop and they do not want to mess around. They're going to make it difficult for you to get in. There's no denial in that sort of way, but look at the players. We've got Leaky back just at the bottom of West Main, easily capable of protecting that West Main wall.
Yeah, that mirror window, very strong if you can play somebody on those West Main stairs. You may think, oh, but surely you can just go and kill the guy in West Main. Not if someone's behind the mirror window. They work hand in hand. They will support one another. Solotov actually moving away from that mirror window, as I mentioned that. Adrian in, seeing if he can open up that trench wall, and will do so successfully. I mean, look, Secret's lineup, I think, pretty strong. You have, I like the addition of the IQ. Again, River Valkyrie's up as well. You always need to be careful of that. And it is something that BDS have played quite a bit this major, is that Valkyrie. So, yeah, I think overall it's a good lineup on the attacking perspective. Jum, looking to see if he can maybe challenge on to this one roamer who is now gone. So BDS have just forfeited the hatch. They've gave that away, but I suppose why not? I mean, Secret really haven't taken a whole lot off the map. They haven't really opened up that long angle yet onto Wine. Sure, they've got the trench wall and main wall opened up, but you also have the big bad clash.
I think despite the time, Secret still have a lot of utility. They haven't really used anything to get to this point aside from hard breaches. We've got full utility on the Capitao. That's going to be great for dealing with that clash and trying to zone that player out a little bit. They have been able to get walls open. They've got the front side open now, and we're going to see that hatch start to get opened as well into connector. That's a key position that clash is going to want to try and occupy, and they're not going to be able to transition as easily through, provided that there is going to be somewhere sat out there to watch that.
Oh, EFAC. A C4 ripped over towards Trench, and it lands the kill on the Adrian. EFAC. Hungry for more, are we, as he's lining up that player over towards the West Main stairs, and Savage, oh, this is not favorable for you, mate. In comes the clash, another C4, he shoots out midair, but he sees the player behind, and he gets taken down. It's an onslaught for BDS. They kick things off in the defense with a huge flawless round.
Big flawless round from Secret, not looking, from BDS, excuse me, not looking too worried at all there. And it was a shame. I think the clash was the big factor there that Secret maybe hadn't considered how to deal with, because you can't just solo walk down blue and get faced with a clash. You need something else to happen at that point. There's one player on side of Secret occupying 2 players from BDS there. And in that moment, you have to try and take that advantage. That's when you need something to happen on main breach. You need something to happen at the bottom of West Main in trench. But they just never got good control over those areas.
It's just nobody really stepped up into a good position for Secret. There was nobody really in a position where they can go aggressive and try and get a kill and try and move BDS, kind of move them around the site. So, yeah, just very, I think, passive from the side of Secret.
I've just seen the 2 kills that Solotov got. There was no way. That was just a BDS round through and through. If Solotov's hitting shots like that, there's not much that you're going to be able to do to stop it. It was, of course, the first round of BDS's defense. They are going to be switching things up now and taking us into a mid-floor.
Are we sure Shaiko's playing today?
Has
anyone seen him?
Can we get a check?
Is he definitely up there?
He's there. We can see him sat down.
Are we sure Fresh hasn't jumped on? Fresh on board?
1 on 5 from Shaiko at the minute. Not the player that you would expect to have that sort of a scoreline.
Like a Shaiko, for goodness sake. We shouldn't have to say he's having a bad game.
The thing is, in this new iteration of BDS, does it matter too much? They're only 1 round behind at the minute, and they've just switched sides. That's one of the more deadly things about this roster, is that they've still got so much potential with everybody else.
That's what Yuza said in the little interview he did.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, Shaiko's the main guy you look at in that team for obvious reasons,
they've all got
but they've
the
also
X
got
factor.
4 wild cards in there who can show up at any time.
Yeah.
You know, EFAC, for example, during this tournament, he dragged them through an Oregon against SSG. If it wasn't for him, they would have lost.
Opening pick for Solotov here. Done there. He's going to give himself a nice handy rotation back to piano. Miracle getting caught out on his own. Not great when that's your only hard breach. I've not even got 10 openers available. Oh, another nasty shot. That's 3 in a row for Solotov that have just been disgusting.
He's on one. And look, Solotov, I think, coming into this lineup, hasn't looked really settled in. You know, I think the performance from where he was at M&M, even this time last year, is all of a sudden coming back into fruition. You know, this guy last year at Copenhagen, I thought he was the best player in the world, the way he was moving around. But he just hasn't been able to settle into that BDS lineup. But right now, when it matters, he is stepping up to the mark. Secret mudded. Half the round still to go, and they have only 2 players remaining, Savage and Adrian. A fair amount of utility still. Flashes and grenades still up. But BDS, they have 2 extra men to deal with it. It's going to be very difficult for Secret to see the round out from here.
And there's no way that BDS are going to break these down and give them away lightly either. Uses, he can see the laser sight there. He knows there's going to be somebody pushing. He gets the hipfire headshot there. The nade tried to displace him, but it didn't do the business. He's going to find the final 2 there. BDS level things up.
Savage just casually flashing a Warden. That's not going to work out for you, mate. He's got the goggles on.
Hey, in the heat of the moment, you throw whatever you've got. You never know the status of those goggles. They might be fogging up.
Fogging up, eh?
Tactical timeout here for Secret.
Yes, needed. It is. The tide's changed for them. I think BDS now, they have the run of the grass for the past 2 rounds. They've looked very dominant. Secret just haven't really had a chance to attack, it feels like.
Twister there, going to impart some wisdom.
Taking a knee.
Over to the team. Just see how he can steady the ship. We've been saying throughout the tournament and through every event, timeouts from the coach. This is their moment. This is the only impact that they can have in a live game. As soon as that game starts, that is it. The coaches cannot talk. They can only talk during the tactical timeout. Each team gets 1. Secret have chosen to use theirs after their first 2 attacking rounds, so at the end of round 8 and the start of round 9. Because let's be honest, the last 2 attacks haven't been up to scratch. They've looked like a different team from what we saw on the defense.
They just need to stay alive for a bit of a longer period than what they have been doing. Because right now, you're not really getting a chance to show us what you've got, Secret. If you give BDS just those opening kills every single time, we know what BDS are like whenever they have that man advantage. They are so dangerous with that extra person. So for Secret, it's about keeping people alive, using the utility, because look, Secret throughout the stage, you know, I think they've really improved their game. I think they understand the meta really, really well. I will say, though, that the same kind of pocket rush strategies that we had seen during the stage, I think they were very wise not to try and really do that here, because obviously you'd be found out. Once you do a pocket strat once, the coaches are going to know, the enemy teams are going to know what you're going to do.
On the flip side of that, we're in the quarterfinals now. I wouldn't be mad if we saw some of those.
No, I think you need it now. You need it now.
This is the time to bring it out, because we saw them have some brilliant pocket plays, and it really helped, I think, build their synergy and build them up as a roster. I'd like to see something a little bit cheesy now. I'd like to see, I don't know, an Amaru Sense jump in or something along those lines and really give themselves a little bit of an option here and just give BDS something to think about that, yes, they might have seen it, but it comes out of nowhere.
Jum straight in through mud window. The barricade is going to stop his approach. He will ping it out, maybe to see if a teammate can try and destroy it for him. I mean, he has Flores. He could try and use the drone to do it for him, but not at the moment. I mean, the only issue with having Jum in that position, yes, I know he's very aggressive and he can get into these positions just to find an opening like that, but don't forget he is the Flores. You need to have him upstairs dealing with all that utility.
Shaco can't buy a kill on Chalet right now. Been open and picked so many times, it just feels devastating. Really been unable to get going. He won't have any impact in this round aside from being on the cameras. Solotov gets a little bit lucky there. We've already seen him thread the needle a couple of times today, and when there's these Kiba barriers out there, it's almost even easier to do. Usus actually gets downed on the drop there. The Capital Firebolt coming in and doing a great job of pushing him out of that corner in Library, but it's likely he'll get revived.
Yeah, much better pace coming in from Secret this time around. It doesn't look as though they can actually get the revive. However, we see the cross coming in from Bride. Miracle, is he going to try and go for the jump in? Perhaps a bait from Bride. Now he goes for it. Miracle holding his ground. The revive will come through. Uses back on his feet. Jum has also been taken out, so a minute 15 and a slight stall here from Secret. If only Miracle knew what he could have gotten there.
It's a shame that Secret haven't taken that control inside the Library, because they would have been able to work with that. Miracle will pick up that kill. His patience has paid off, and that's going to open the floodgates. Now we can see the hop in. Grubby can find Solotov at the top of Fireplace, and Leakyfac has got a big job on his hands. He knows there's somebody underneath the double window, and he's got a red ping onto that player. The drone is going to come in, and that's going to be enough for him to get himself out of there. Narrowly escapes. But what's he going to do now once he's on the site? He does have a C4, so he could look to try and play this vertically, and he is going to. Successful there onto Adrian. More good information coming here for BDS.
Miracle opens up the hatch, so it means that EFAC can no longer play in towards Bar. He has a yellow ping. They have information from the Valkyrie cameras. EFAC, is he going to go for the challenge? No, just slips underneath it. Where is he headed? Into mud he goes. If his position is known, he's going to be stuck in that room. Grubby with the crossbow in hand will smoke off the door looking for his approach, but do they know where he is? Miracle now will swing into mud, but the footwork from EFAC, he keeps them on their toes. Dribbling around them with such ease. Miracle, there's a frost mat, there's a frost mat. He goes back into the site, but a perfect position for Brede, uses the Goo Mine to his advantage, and BDS continue this streak of rounds.
A better round from Secret. We usually say that tactical timeouts are good for a round. However, it wasn't good enough to chalk one up. It was close, but close isn't good enough. We need to see rounds getting put up there on the scoreboard. The confidence from Leakyfac there in the position. Now, granted, BDS had a lot of information. They really knew exactly where Secret were. There's Valkyrie cameras that were devastating, and they were so confident with it toward the end. They were just red pinging them out, because at that point, why not?
For EFAC, it's just a lot of siege timing comes down to that. I mean, honestly, get him the number 10 jersey. The way he was moving around those players with such ease, it was incredible to see. And Brede, again, Brede just had to sit in sight. That's all he had to do. It's a boring job, but he does it probably one of the best in the world. We know that. Now, Secret. Ollie, you called for an Amaru. You've called for something a little bit funky. They've actually just switched it off. Never mind. But
that was the time.
Listen, there's still a lineup here that we can look at. So we can still have a discussion.
That was the moment, though.
There is a blitz. Locked in for Savage. What has he got cooking? It is going to be in towards the top floor. For Blitz, you have a couple of options. You can either move in through the office door from the balcony, or you can jump in through one of the windows. Straight away, you can see where Savage is. He's going to be going in through the door.
Looks like Secret are intending on playing this round fairly quickly. We have 3 players here stacked up on side of Snow Balcony. Of course, Savage is going to be there. Grubby is going to start to open that wall. Yuzis is going to get greeted immediately there by the Blitz, but he can't activate the goggles. Doesn't want to drop the shield, instead just waits for the player to come through. Drops the shield and instantly dies. Shaiko finally gets himself on the board again after oh so many rounds and picks 2, but it is still a 3 versus 2 right now. Shaiko in a very good position here. He could possibly try and play a little bit of a flank onto the player on Snow if he knows that he's going to be there, but instead just chooses to block it up for the time being. Shaiko is in no man's land right now, but if he makes this work, it could be beautiful. He's getting pressured from both sides. A great pinch from Secret. It's going to be Grubby credited with that one, and LeakyFact stuck inside a piano.
Yeah, the rush has been successful for Secret. They've picked up their kills, and they have a very strong man advantage. Just a pre-fire wallbang from Adrian. Takes out EFAC. And Secret, that's the round that they needed. Just a little bit of cheese.
But that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see that synergy because they have that ability to play together really well. The Blitz, whilst it looks on paper like it didn't have much impact,
but it did.
It
did.
really allowed that push in, and the discipline to not push and to not de-shield from Savage until the right moment. Yes, he eventually dies, but there are so many shots coming in his way. At that point, it just didn't matter. Grubby, he saw success on the opening. We had Miracle playing off the side of Savage's shoulder. It was a great push there.
Just the information that the Blitz can provide for the team. You know, Blitz, obviously Monty as well with shields, is that you can stand in front of somebody and they can't kill you. You know, it's bulletproof. So I think having that element just for that information will help out Secret so much. And look, it's the one round that they needed to get them back into the fight, get them back into the game. But I will say, they can't go for that again now. You know, I think BDS, the ears will be up. They'll be ready for these kind of rushes.
5 seconds to go.
They may not need to. That could just give them the confidence that they need. It's the first round that they've picked up in a long time. It's the first round they've picked up on the attack, and it stopped BDS from going on to a map point. This now becomes an incredibly important round, round number 11, to decide which team gets that opportunity of a match point, a map point first. Is it going to be BDS, who have been fantastic on the defense, or is Secret going to now be able to ride a little bit of that momentum? Don't forget, they had the timeout a couple of rounds ago. We weren't successful, but then they managed to pull that out. So they're obviously working well as a unit right now to try and stabilize.
BDS still have their timeout available if they need it. Adrian will try and nade out Solotov, and a very early kill comes in from the side of Secret. Savage finds Solotov, who was really the danger man towards Fireplace. Shaiko, hello! Welcome to Manchester, mate. We're happy to see that you've turned up.
Slowly but surely, Shaiko's picking up kills here and there. His kills in the last round were impactless, so we can't get too excited just yet, but he's been at least able to trade that back. What I will say is, regardless of the trade, the player that Secret managed to remove was Solotov, and it is the most important player. That being dealt with so early there, flashbang nade, a little bit of a push. It was beautiful, and it was very clean indeed.
It's very important considering the lineup as well from Secret. They don't have a whole lot of soft destruction. It was just the nades from Adrian. Shaiko! Uh-oh! He's on it again. Brine a C4 almost catches Grubby. Miracle, though, his C4 will land. Grubby just picks up a wandering Shaiko. Information not being fed through to the lineup of BDS, and it's cost Shaiko his life. Jum, though, has been downed in another frost map. There's so many of these in this game. They're causing so many issues, and good night, Jum. Grubby back on the window he goes, no diffuser in hand. Another pot, he's just giving it right back to them.
Pogmat for Pogmat. Grubby with a minute left. 1 versus 3. How is he going to choose to use this time? The diffuser is surrendered. Oh, there it is.
Capcan! Hello!
There it is. LeakyFact with the stat padder that is Capcan.
Just on main door.
When was the last time we saw a Frostmat and a Capcan in the same round? Of a stage game, by the way.
Trap City. Big round for BDS that gets them onto the match point. For Chalet, Secret have to come from behind once again. I mean, for Secret, the fact they had eliminated Solotov so early on is huge. You know, you've eliminated the the Azami. Obviously, the gadget there, takes time before you really get the full value out of that operator. But they just couldn't convert the round win.
One thing that we talk about on Chalet is there's so much potential for outside to in kills when you're on the attack. You can get up onto the roof, you can open windows, you can play in around a bathroom and in and around a piano window.
3 balconies you can play on as well.
Balconies, there's all sorts. But equally, it does work for the defenders. It's just much more risky. But when you're going up against a player like Shaiko, who has that confidence and that ability, it becomes devastating. He gets the trade back. Yes, okay, it still probably favors Secret a little bit. But then when he picks up that second kill, that's when it really starts to get difficult for them. And then the traps just come into play. And BDS are fantastic with those C4s, really getting a lot of value out of them inside the fixture.
Bomb diffuser has been
Here we go.
dropped.
Potentially the
Attackers
final
have
round
recovered their
of
diffuser.
Chalet. Barring games is where BDS choose to go. Lineup really has not changed on the side of BDS. Again, running this trap lineup. 3 of them being brought in. We're only missing the L and the Thorn. Would have been a full house. June tries to get the camera in to see if he can hack some of that utility.
See if you can hack a Capcan.
Maybe you can get the reverse.
The dream is the reverse Capcan.
So last time, whenever we've seen Secret attack here, they dealt with the players upstairs extremely well. They were using utility, they were using the fire arrows, and again, they will fire the in, and it will just force users out of that position back down the hatch. He hasn't been down this time, though, but still takes a big chunk of damage. So it's good pacing from Secret, but they really need to deal with Solotov. That is the danger player. We mentioned it in the last round. We mentioned it last time they were here. Solotov upstairs in Fireplace, using all of those Azami barriers as great coverages to swing left, right, and center. That is the player they need to find.
Nobody on the side of Secret really committing to too much just yet, and as we approach the halfway point in the round, you do start to get concerned at the pace in here. Look at what there is still to deal with. We've got the shield at the top of Library Stairs. We've still got players dug in and around that. There's the Valkyrie open as well, so you can imagine there's some cameras and a bit of utility, and Solotov, he's allowed to play quite slippy there. He will be traded out as Grubby eventually starts to take control of that library.
1 minute 10, again, great work from Secret to eliminate the danger man. EFAC, though, on a flank. Do they have any information for this? Is there a camera that Savage can sit on? Or is EFAC going to play spoiler in this attacking round? EFAC now seeing if he can creep around. Everyone else from BDS just waiting to see if EFAC can make this happen. He may need to get a move on his users. It's down to the lineup, and the 9mm goes big. A great flank from EFAC, and Secret are stunned.
Allowed to make a very straightforward rotation there as well as Shaiko. He drops down Doom. Adrian there with the trade, but 3-8 to clean things up. That's going to be BDS taking map 1 inside of this best of 3 against Secret.
Oh, I'm hearing boos. They didn't like that one. The French are out in force. Great first map for Secret. Oh, for BDS, sorry, not Secret. I mean, still for Secret, I think not a bad effort again. It's just a couple of rounds there at the start of their attacks. So I think overall for Secret, they just have to try and focus on what's going wrong with the attacks. Is it the team play? Is that the issue? Because again, for some of those rounds, they were just losing players extremely early on, and they just allowed BDS just to pile on that pressure.
We saw BDS play in a very similar way to we've seen them play throughout the course of this competition. Let's have a see of what our desk have to make of it. We're going to send it on over.
For context, it is 10 to 11 on a Friday in Manchester, and this room is already electric. It doesn't normally pick up to this level, Fresh, until a little bit later on in the weekend. But if this is anything to go by, we're off to the races.
Yeah, no, absolutely magical. It really was, and I think, yeah, we're off to the races. Big map 1, close map 1, that's exactly what we would have wanted, right?
Yep.
Coming into it, it was BDS's map pick, but Secret gave it a bloody good go.
Yeah, BDS take their map pick in Chalet. They ultimately came out on top here, but it was a real barn burner, back and forth affair.
Yeah, back and forth, 2 different strategies, right? One of the team, I think BDS, the defense especially, were trying to play really aggressive in the early round. I think very different from Secret. Secret were actually abusing their strong positions, and it goes to show the 2 different attacker strategies. On BDS side, it was basically we want to avoid as much roam clearing. We want to avoid these gunfights. We want to have limited takes and go for the execute. Now the problem is, if you do that, You should be watching your flank. And many times they got aggressive or they lost players to the aggression of Secret early in the round. Very different from when they were attacking, actually. I think overall, the aggression from Secret was well calculated, but BDS came in, and especially thanks to a few plays from Liquefact, I think he was instrumental in that game, in very decisive moment with the right decisions.
Yeah, Fresh, it was very much, a different approach in attack, but ultimately the same result.
Yeah, ultimately the same result. I think, Secret, but both Secret, as you say, both Secret and BDS will have had a very different game plan for attack, but it didn't play out. And I think the difference on the day, the difference on that map, was individuality. And this is what we always say about BDS. Even sometimes when they don't strategically get it right, they're going to get over the line. And this was a classic example of that. Even in that very last round where Liquefact found an individual play, a big flank, a big 2K, wins them the round, right? And that's ultimately, for me, that's the one little difference between these two teams.
And there were multiple examples, multiple rounds where he actually had an action, maybe not with much impact, maybe not a double kill, but I just remember, for example, on Garage, he's with Mira on the side, and instead of saying in the side, he just runs out, goes towards Garage and creates a new crossfire. He gets that pick, then runs back to the bomb site. This kind of decision, it's really ballsy, but it's decisive moments like this that get them the rounds.
Well, still plenty more to go in this first quarterfinal. This is, of course, a best of 3. We are one map down, and after the break, we'll be getting right into Bank. We are back live in the BDS Arena in Manchester for the Blaster 6 Manchester Major. If you think this is loud, we are just getting started. This building is sold out this weekend, and the early birds are already in the building making a lot of noise. Big up Manchester. I am now with the UK crew. I know all these guys, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you live on screen. You go first, Tom.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Tom. Lovely to see you all. Are we enjoying Manchester, boys? Yeah!
Morning, Andy. Up the siege.
Up the siege.
I'm Toast. I'm just a dude. Up the siege.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kendrew.
Come on, you know Kendrew. ITB mastermind here. Tom, I'm going to come to you first. I do want to get onto our quarterfinal. But first, this has been a long time coming. You travel all over the world following this game. Obviously, you're a content creator, but you're a fan at heart. What's it mean to you to have a UK major here?
It's a little bit emotional, to be honest. It's just nice for Siege to be back where it belongs, back home. The major's coming home, baby.
We see you at all the other events too. This must feel special.
Yeah, definitely. For me as well, I lived here for 9 years in Manchester, so to be in the community in Manchester is, yeah, it's really good.
Do you think that this crowd can stand up to all the hype? Because, you know, we hear a lot at all these different events all around the world. I said at the start of the show, we've done international Siege events, 4 different continents, never in the UK. Can the crowd live up to expectations?
There's a lot of yapping, but yeah, the crowd I think were the best one they've ever done.
You reckon?
Easily.
Kendrew, ITB, with your team, you didn't manage to make the main stage. You were heartbroken by that. We've seen the pictures. We don't need to go all over that again. But is it still nice to be here as a spectator?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this like, it's the first major UK event, you know, so yeah, it's sick.
Sick to have you here as well. Just briefly, one-word answers, please. Are we going BDS or are we going Secret?
Secret.
It's going to Mark 3.
Secret.
BDS.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, woo-hoo-hoo. Give it up for our UK crew. All right. Let's get back to business, shall we? Right back into the thick of things in our quarterfinal, our first here at the Blaster 6 Manchester Major. BDS versus Team Secret. BDS took map 1. Map 2 is Secret's pick in Bank.
Yeah, and they should be comfortable on it. They've now got rid of that main stage jitters. They've experienced it. They've got rid of those nerves. They've lost their opponent's map pick. That's what's expected in a best of 3. It's about winning your own map pick, and they're onto their own map Bank, which will be familiar.
For me, the real win condition right now for Secret is to bring more information. They've been losing man early in the round. They need to punish that early aggression, and then when they get in the round, they need to be aware of that aggression later, just before they execute. Bringing information will fix that problem. We need to see that happen on Bank.
Of course, this is my first time joining you for this part of the major here, Fresh, and there was a lot of hype in our pre-show about Zoom for Secret, the monster we called him. We need to see him show up here.
Yeah, I think we do. I think he's a big focal point for Team Secret, and I think within that structure, like Leo said, if they have more information, it allows him to be more expressive. It allows him to make those plays. You don't just see these players making those plays blind. It's based on the whole team, the backline, and absolutely everybody. So he's definitely got it in his tank.
Lekefaka has been the one stepping up on the side of BDS. We need to see someone do it on the side of Secret. If anyone can do it, it's Jum.
All right, Manchester, do we want to see this go to 3 maps? Let's get into it with our casters, Ollie and Dema.
Ian, thank you very much indeed. We too want to see this go to all 3 maps. We want every last drop out of this quarterfinal here. And it seems like the crowd do as well now.
I think they do. They want to see Clubhouse. They want to go to map number 3. I think for the EU matchup, it's deserving of the crowd that we have in. It's so early in the morning, and it's a full house out there.
The social vote has gone 50-50.
That's not
I
how
don't
that
think
works.
I've seen a straight 50-50 social vote here at Manchester. And even before then, for a long, long time.
Especially whenever BDS took the first map as well. Usually that will sway the things in favour of it.
I'll be honest, I think a few Secret fans might have just woken up. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, Secret need to wake up, Ollie.
Let's get stuck into Bank now. We are going to be headed here for our second map. As mentioned by our wonderful desk, this is Secret's map pick, and it is a map that they are very familiar on. Yay! The Ying gets banned. Do we see a shield ban?
On the Monty?
Shields can be fantastic on Bank.
Let's find out. Oh, it's up. The shields are up.
They have a Hibana ban.
That's, I mean, look, hatches for the basement, yeah. Counter wall, makes sense.
Hey, the Azami ban.
Will you be joining in as well?
I love it.
Well, go on then, do it with them.
For the final ban, it will be... Hey, it's the mirror. The mirror will be removed as the 4th and final ban. A little bit strange there, Demo. We don't always see a Hibana ban. And to be honest with you, we don't always see a mirror ban. This isn't 2 years ago. There's loads of defenders now. Solus is available. Fenrir is available. There's some really nasty defenders that are available here.
Yeah. Bans, a little bit weird. I mean, that makes sense. Again, Hibana for the basement. Hatches, there's 5 of them. She's great in that. You know, she's the queen of hatches. Also for the counter wall upstairs as well. You can open that up. It does kind of put you in a position where you need to try and bring in like a Maverick, maybe. So obviously with, you know, Cade being up, for example.
Yeah.
You bring the Maverick, it means you don't have to bring a Thatcher plus a Heartbreach, you can just get away with just the Maverick. So I think it does change your lineup significantly. But then if I look at the lineup, though, from Secret, there would be only one player with Heartbreach gadgets, being Miracle on the Grim. So I don't really know what Secret have in store for us. This is a little bit unusual. He's changed onto the Ace again, still same dilemma. Now you're actually going to get less hatches. This is, I don't know about this.
10 seconds left.
You do get that value of getting the server wall open, though. But an ace isn't typically the go-to to get that job done.
No, it's the hatches
so
I
the
worry
switch
about.
over onto the ace is a little bit strange. And as you've mentioned there, there's no secondary Heartbreach utility either. BDS, they're not choosing to bring the Cade, which of course would be devastating. Leaky fact there, just letting them know that they're home. There are people home in the bank today. We're just going to let you know of that. Savage on the Nook. There's only one place a Nook goes, and that is in through the garage. He's already got his drone up there pre-placed. Can activate, get himself walked on through.
A great find from Secret. Able to get into garage, you can just sit behind that van and cut off that cross in towards the red corridor. There's already head holes for him. If that was reinforced, it'd be a different story, but now he can just sit there. And if BDS have no idea that he's already in that position, he will find a kill.
It's also a position that Shaiko loves to play late on into the round. You'll very often see him playing on that ramp that is at the top of those garage stairs and at the bottom of those main stairs. Adrian, he's just getting a little bit in and out as well, but Solotov, they didn't know he was up there.
They've tried to go for the back hatch. They've tried to drop down and try and use Savage to cut them off, but Savage finds one and immediately trade it back by Shaiko. Jum over in server all by himself. Flashbang in and a C4 gets sent back, and Solotov with a Capcan kill as well.
Second Capcan kill of this series so far. Adrian just getting caught out there, walking toward the bottom of elevators. I commented, I said that that's a Shaiko position. I mean, you can barely keep up at this point. He's got so many spots across every map. You can always imagine him playing somewhere, and that, for me, on basement, is a Shaiko spot through and through. He loves playing in that position, and like we saw, drops the hatch, grabs the trade. Secret tried something quick, they tried something a little bit fast and risky, but when you've not even got control of top floor, you've not got a drone there watching to see if there's anybody up there, there's no pre-play stuff on that top floor to give you that sort of clear confidence that you can move through. Again, it just comes down to that lack of preparation there in the bush.
I just don't think the attack was very good. I don't know what they were going for. Sure, you get into garage early, you're looking to try and drop in towards the back hatch. But as soon as they know what you're going to go for, it's so easy to defend from a defender's perspective. The best attack is just open up server wall and plant. That's what every team does. Why are Secret trying to go against the grain?
And don't forget what BDS had that last round. They had the pulse.
Yeah.
They can sit that pulse inside a vault and they go, oh.
See, it's 2 guys ATM.
2 guys ATM.
Yeah.
Solotov, get ready.
Yep.
It's not to take away from Solotov. It almost adds on to BDS's team play. Like, that isn't a fluke position. He's there for a good reason. See how round 2 goes here. Oh, a little bit of a jump out. Jesus. Why not at this point? Solotov, can he go and open up the door for him and maybe take a challenge onto Adrian? Jim is going to be out there as well. Users goes 1 for 1, but he's the castle. He's being dealt with. The C4 comes out here. He's going to have to sprint through. Adrian is able to punish that aggressive play.
Oh, another one. They just keep coming. It is a full-on aggro for BDS, and Secret are dealing with it amazingly. BDS, you've lost 3 players within inside a minute.
There's people still reinforcing.
What's going on?
Shaiko's popping a reinforcement up at this point in the round. There's 2 minutes left. He should be out there getting kills at this moment.
Oh, the crowd's behind them. I mean, guys, it's very NA-esque, I will add into that. Come on, we're better than that.
It is a little bit NA-esque. There was a lot of promises made that there'd be no let's go, insert team name.
I signed contracts to make sure it didn't happen.
Yeah.
These have been broken.
Need to see what you can cook up. I'll let you off because it's early, but you know,
Go on,
need to have a think about it. Secret, they've got a lot of time to work with here. And they've got a great advantage. They could just essentially go and trade off onto side, but they do need to gather a little bit more information. They've got the ability to do that because they have drones and they also have time. Jim, he's going to pop his drone into open here, see if he can just get it up onto the filing cabinet and give himself a nice bit of an overview.
And don't forget that Savage can also hack into the cameras as well, and there is Valkyrie cameras up, as we know. I don't know if Users had the bulletproof. If he did, again, that will be open for the attackers to utilize. Shaiko in towards Copy. This is where you'd like to see an extra man maybe rotate towards that window. It's great at just cutting off those positions, but I don't think they need it now as Rede's being dealt with by Jum. And Shaiko, see if he can make this happen. He will swing into Adrian. But Adrian on a heater right now picks up a great couple of kills that round.
Still a trade. Still came down to a trade there. Shaiko did get the kill on Adrian at the same time, but again, we spoke about it. When you've got such a big man advantage like that, it's always going to be very difficult. Bit of love for Milosh there in the chat.
He will be here. Don't worry. He will be here later on. He'll be taking you through games 3 and 4 today. Just you have Chambers for the first 2. I regret to inform everyone.
Everybody loves it. It was a bit scrappy. I was so surprised. You know what's the weirdest thing about Users jumping out? He's got one of the best survival rates in the whole series. He's got one of the highest KDs. He was something like +40 coming into the day. And then you see him sending himself out a window. It's uncharacteristic.
I mean, he has a castle.
Player.
He has a castle. It is one of those operators that dump the utility, and you jump out and get that 1 for 1.
There's loads of cameras to get. You know, there's loads of cameras that he can watch.
And on the surface of things, he had taken out the IQ. Actually, a really good operator to eliminate whenever you know that your team has a Valkyrie, for example.
It did work out well. It was just the events that went on after that fight. I think Solotov coming and trying to save him, and that was where it got a little bit messy.
I think it was EFAC swinging out the window as well. It's you've done too much there from BDS's perspective.
There's an overreaction there to that problem. It probably would have just been a fine trade as is, but they were seeing what they could get away with. But this is how Chalet started. It started very close, and to be honest, a 7-5 is a close game. That's what we saw over on Chalet. We've said that we were expecting a close series between these two, and nothing's changed there.
I think it was just because it was a tale of 2 halves. You know, Secret very dominant in the first half, BDS in the second. Didn't necessarily have, you know, an even split where it's back and forth, back and forth. Both teams had their kind of streaks of rounds that they could string together. Now we deal with our mid-floor site, and it will be in towards that Tellers and Archives, which is always a bit of a strange one to see, because usually it is the least played bomb site out of the lot. But again, can still be defended. As long as you have a good grasp on how to hold top floor, which I think BDS, looking at their lineup, you have the Fenrir, you have the castle, you have those kind of 2 operators that can shut down any potential crouch walks that can happen, because again, it's a very open site. Things can go wrong, attackers can get themselves into strong positions, but just having just that little bit of denial, that little bit of information that you can gather, very strong for BDS. So Secret, they will just have to go for the process, you know, very mundane process of get everything droned out, try and clear towards that top floor, and then get in with that vertical.
They're still not confident to walk in, though.
No.
Grubby's had a little bit of misfortune there with the way that he placed his boogie drone on the ram. It didn't quite work out. It just got stuck on one of the bookcases. Engagement here for Leaky Pack. He's trying to find it. He has to go close to keep himself alive here. Brede going to be able to grab one over onto Savage, and the player on the lobby repel still causing a lot of headache, and Leaky Pack eventually there gets caught out. Users will be there with a trade, though. He was playing inside of Janitors and was just able to dip out. He's got a mute jammer at his feet. He's still very safe in that position.
He just swung on a Miracle, who was top square as well. What a swing from Users. Diffuser cold as well in that position. Jum struggling to try and deal with Brede. Of course, that reinforced wall just stops any potential for Jum. But again, he's going to try and see what else he can find. But for Secret, they are playing from behind again. They just struggle to see if they can find the kills, and Saltov, as easy as you like, walks through, picks up Adrian. Grubby takes up that same mantle towards top square, takes a lot of damage through the wall. Doesn't know where they are. I mean, Jum has picked up one on the Shaiko and maybe can explode into the site, but misses the shots, and Brede punishes him. And Grubby in the 1v3.
Not an easy one for Grubby to take care of. Finds the first, but is unaware of Users. Crouched down there in the middle of open. Happy to collect Grubby as he drops through that hatch. Big problem for Secret in that round was the information. They had no drones whatsoever. They're in that 3 versus 4, and everyone's just flicking player cams. There are no flank drones out there, and that's what's causing the problems.
Yeah, timeout being called. I think they know that the problems that they kind of had on Chalet is, again, following through. They're giving away the early picks to BDS. They don't look as though they really want to fight against this defense. I think it's been very timid as well from Secret. It's not that same ferocity that we've seen. You know, the desk mentioned about Jum and how dangerous he's been for this competition. I'm not seeing that same guy. He doesn't really want to try and get into the action. He's playing very passive position, just out a window, trying some pot shots. I want to see him in there. I want to see him in the fight.
Good time to take a tactical timeout. You know, things haven't really been going Secret's way. Yes, it's only 2-1 to BDS, but there's obviously a glaring problem there that Twister's not happy with, and it's likely to be to do with information, because look at what's available. If a Valkyrie's open, it's going to be difficult. Bank is a fantastic map for Valkyrie. You can't bring too much information to that, because it's quite a big map. There's a lot of different rooms, there are a lot of sprawling spaces, and one camera can gain just so much value. It doesn't have to be littered. It can just be very well-placed surgical cams.
Again, it's an attacker-sided map, so I think using the timeout, I think they assess that, yeah, we need to get more attacks on the board here. We should be. I mean, this is where Savage needs to kick into gear. Savage, IGL captain, this is the player you look towards to try and get that momentum up and see if he can figure out a plan. And obviously we've seen as soon as the round ended, frantically straighten the comms, trying to tell his guys what they need to do. So, look, I said before the game, I think a lot of this does center around Savage and how well he can manage his team, because obviously the IGL, the captain, you know, that middle seat, it's an important one.
5 seconds.
It's definitely who you look toward when things aren't going your way.
He's the longest standing member as well. It's been nearly 2 years since he got brought into this team.
Lineup looking a little bit different this time. We saw the basement in round number 1. And there was an attempt at a bit of a nook push through the garage, and there wasn't really much intention to clear out those hatches. This time we have got a Maverick. We also have got some secondary hard breach gadget on Miracle with the Grim as well. So hatches shouldn't really be too much of a problem this time.
Yeah, much better lineup. Very happy to see that. Should have no issues at all. You know, Maverick in there just almost as like a kind of safety net, but still Thatcher, hard breach combo. You should be able to get all those hatches open with very little issues. BDS happy to play this bunker strategy. They do have the smoke in towards blue stairs. Always a dangerous position that we look at. Hatches electrified. Just rotate the Thatcher over. Should be no issues at all there. But right now for Secret, if they just, honestly, if they play it by the book and they just play, you know, pretty default, just get in towards server, try and go for that plant, we've seen great success down here. We've seen teams do really well in the attack.
It's just about making sure you've got the ability to reposition yourself. Currently, Adrian just having a little bit of a cold time trying to get that hatch open. We'll have to take a little bit of damage here to get the job done as well.
Shocking time.
Leaky Pack.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
He's going to be able to at least reduce some of the time, or sorry, increase some of the time spent to try and get that main hatch open as well, because of course the two-brow freezing effect there is going to just slow down that secondary hardware gadget a little bit.
So the main player that need to try and eliminate is going to be BDS on blue. With the smoke, can stall out, again, a large portion of this round. Just whack them down on towards the blue stairs, but you've already seen the Goyo canister be popped as well. A minute left. They are going to try and open up the hatch to stop his retreat. They have split out EFAC as well, so now there's 2 players that they can deal with. This can either make or break the round for Secret.
There's a heavy stack up here on this hatch. That hatch should get open now, but Adrian's got so little gas left. Not sure if he's going to actually be able to break the hatch entirely.
I think he's out. Yeah, he's out.
Looks as though he's out right now. They're just left with small lines of sight, but that isn't good enough for clearing out that position. BDS, he can continue to choke off those blue stairs. Savage, he tries to make a play down bunker here, but without any assistance from elsewhere, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to break through this. Flash gets sent out there. The B's at the top of the stairs. BDS is going to be down. Doom, he can see to it that that blue stairs is now in the hands of Secret, and look at him go. He might find himself another here. 18 seconds left on the clock. The wall does still need to be open.
C4 out.
Uses, he finds it onto Doom. Shaiko grabs one onto Grubby. 3 versus 3 now. User still in the hot seat. Savage, he picks himself up a kill, but now it's all down to Adrian. Drops the hatch. Picks himself up a scrappy 2-piece, but it gets the job done.
You have to look at Jum. I said he was too passive. It's not the same player that we know can move in and win those engagements. That is so much better from him. We want to see them in the face of BDS. He eliminates BDS. He pushes down, he takes out EFAC, he opens up the round. The blue server take is the pinnacle of how Secret can win that round. If they kill 2 players and lose no one, it's so easy just to overwhelm BDS with the man count that you have on hand. Great round from Secret. That is the pace that they need to set. Adrian obviously dropping in with a double kill. That's more like it.
Did look a bit windy, I'm going to be honest with you. Bit of wind in the server room.
BDS definitely, he whiffed his shots.
So BDS's position there, he doesn't have the shield to play off, which the ideal situation is you've got the shield, you've got magnets, you've got ADSs, you can't. In this meta, you cannot bring everything just for that blue hole.
Well, they went more hatch style, didn't they? They went with Cade, they went with Tabaro.
They went with the hatch.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep control of that, which, to be fair, they did. And Secret did a fantastic job of problem solving it. I think Savage, to push through Dirt Tunnel, just to give another dimension to think about,
put pressure on
it really opened up the round. Because if he hadn't have done that, it would have been very straightforward. As soon as that hatch doesn't get opened, it becomes a nightmare. And BDS's position on that blue, if he gets 1 kill, it's almost game over at that point.
It'll just be like dominoes, won't they? They'll just stack up one after another, and BDS picks up so many kills, but Secret back in it now. Still 2 more rounds left to play on the attack, but that could be a turning point for this young side. I mean, BDS, I think they'll put it down to just, you know, we need to be hitting those shots on server. That's what, you know, I think everything lined up for them. It just, that's the thing about this game, is you can be the best strategic mind in the world, everything lines up for you, but at the end of the day, if you don't hit your shots, you will lose. That is it, plain and simple. Use this, an opening pick. Grubby off the board. Solotov adds on to that. Adrian gone also, and Jun, where are you going, mate? He's in the thick of it. 1 on either side of him, but he still manages to turn on to use this. They are starting to circle him now. There's still players lurking below. C4s could be a problem for him as well. Look at his HP. Just a little bit of a scrap of a C4 could hit him. That'll be enough.
Damning defeat there to suffer 2 opening deaths on the push in like that.
It's going to be the third as well. For Jim was
again,
done for it.
June's done a great job of staying alive. He's still not guaranteed though. You've got that Solus underneath Solotov. He's going to be playing there and can try and soak up a little bit of that time, grab a couple of drones, and obviously you've got that devastating flank potential as well. And every time you try and drone him, you can just pop on that gadget and he's going to find that drone. I mean, if they're at his feet, he's not going to need it, but still the sentiment remains. Savage has got an important engagement to try and win here, and he will do so. Flicks onto the head of Solotov there. That levels things up, and at a very interesting point. 1 minute left.
Clinical kill for Savage. Now, I mean, Secret have control of the tellers and archives, and they can start to stem their push from that location. There are still Fenrir traps inside of the bomb site that may cause them issues whenever the time slowly starts to tick down. Miracle opening up that quad wall, trying to root out a player who could be inside of break room. But EFAC, he's the danger player. If he is not being droned and they don't know he's there, he can really spring a trap, and never mind, Savage is a knower. Takes out EFAC, and Shaiko and Bride see if they can try and salvage this for BDS. But Secret will try and apply as much pressure as they can. They've got information. I'm sure they're in the cameras as well, Ollie.
He's done such a good job of stabilising again here. Another really good example of problem solving. And Jim's not finished. He looked down and out at the start of this round, but he's gone on to help Secret win it. We got Savage grabbing that final kill. 2 kills for Savage on the round as well. Another big round there for Secret, and a round where things weren't going their way, but they were able to shift that. They were able to problem solve on the fly. They lose 2 players on that opening engagement, and it looks like it's all over. Joom gets a great shot onto users at the top of elevators, and from there, it didn't get punished enough. BDS, they relaxed into it a little bit, and they had that advantage. They could have very easily traded on that.
They were so by themselves. BDS had no options there to actually get the trade back in to their favor. You look at the positions of EFAC by himself in an elevator. Look at the position of, who was it, was Solotov? Again, by himself. You know, this is the issue that they're starting to deal with. It's just BDS, they're not having that synergy, not having that team play to realize, hey, we have that man advantage, just double up. If I die, you can get the trade and we're still ahead.
I think that Secret coming into this map on the attacking side has maybe helped them a little bit as well, because they were on the attack over on Chalet. That was the last sort of phase that they stopped that. When the game finished, they were on the attack. They've had a long time now to get themselves into the rhythm on the attack, and we can see that it has got better as the series has developed. Now in the final round of their attack here in regulation, and we've got a little bit of a change-up. We've got a double shield coming in demo.
Boy. Yeah, shields excel in a map like Bank. This is Monty's best map by far. This is his domain. He's just great at taking space. Server you can take with such ease. It looks as though they're going to play Savage either in 2 positions to try and maybe push in towards the roamers, or actually I think maybe smoking off and straight down in towards blue. It is going to be a very quick push to see if they can eliminate users who will have to try and run away. Oh, he tried the pistol, but users says not today, and he finds another as well. Users on a rampage, 8 kills. Miracle. What do you do now, mate? You've lost your players behind you. A good idea from Secret, but the execution not there.
Users has done such a good job to keep BDS in it when you've got a blitz bearing down on you like that. There are still players offsite upstairs. Grubby is going to be allowed to get that wall open. There's still Vulcan shields to get through here as well, which are going to soak up a lot of that time. We can see Grubby will be able to take one of those out now. Can look to put some shots down long range, but there's nothing they can really do whilst this fire is going on.
And there's still the smokes to get through as well. There is so much that Secret need to try and burn through. I wonder if the roamers above are going to play any part of this as well. You know, there's 2 players upstairs in towards open area who could maybe try and go for a flank. So Secret need to be careful, but it's so difficult considering that they're 2 men behind. Is that hatch open as well? Does EFAC have hatch control? Jim is going to try and get in and to deal with some of these roamers as EFAC eliminates Miracle. Hatch is going to be open and Jim sprinting straight through into a Fenrir trap that's just constantly going off. He needs to take it out, and he will do so, but they know exactly where he is, and it's just going to be bombarded by a flurry of bullets. And Grubby is rotated upstairs into the faces of BDS. Oh, there's some boos, Ollie. They don't like that, do they?
3-3 split at the end of the half here. I was really looking forward to seeing that shield round play out in more of a exciting way for the shields. The way that it happened, it was just very well dealt with from BDS. Savage, he ran through the C4. You don't want to stop, you've got no option. The shot that Users hits on him is fantastic, but he was ready for it. And not only that, he double dipped. He gets Adrian as well. And there was no control there, despite bringing 2 shields. I don't think Secret had any control.
Initial plan failed, and that is something that they struggled with on the last map on Chalet. It's if that initial kind of plan doesn't work or they don't really get going, it doesn't look as though they can problem solve all too well. And there's also something I think happened to them during the stage, where it was very difficult for that team to come back if they'd lost the opening pick, if they had, you know, made a blunder and they lost control. that has been the kind of recurring thing for Secret, which again, it happens to these teams who are very new, who have only gotten just, play with each other for one stage. People forget, this is only one stage for Secret. Adrian's first debut season as well. Doom coming in after being on the heroic side. Adding in those two factors, it's something that you have to adapt to. And it's not going to be made overnight. We know that. Success will take, a lot of time. Even for this BDS roster, they haven't looked great at some points, but again, a new side playing together. Yes, I know they're a star-studded lineup, but still, it will take time.
Equal split then, 3-3 as we enter round number 7. Sides have swapped, and so was the ideology a little bit here. We're seeing a Deimos being brought from BDS. It's going to be used as rocking that. Currently 8-3. Don't forget, one of those was a jump out that he gave himself away for. We talk about this guy and his KD and his ability to survive in the heat of the moment, and it really does seem like you can only get rid of him. You can only take him out if he gives his life up at times, because he can be so devastating. Let's see what value he provides here. Leaky Fat going to be on the Dokkaebi as well, looking to walk on through. Do you have Savage here hiding out on the Solus? He's going to take a ton of damage there. He gets pinched from both sides.
It's the power of the Dokkaebi, something that was banned against him on Chalet, and it was for good reason. They are devastating with that operator, the way that they can just pressure and stop the defenders from having any fun in the game. And you think back to some of the demolition jobs that ITB have done to teams. You think, that BDS have done to teams such as ITB, for example. That 7-1 was a real pinnacle for them, and just what they can do to sides whenever they have that momentum on the attack. And again, for Secret, it's all about stopping that momentum. It's about stopping BDS, because they will just roll one after another after another. Whenever they're in the zone, they are scary.
Still a couple of cameras available, but of course with Leaky Pack on side and hacking those cameras, a bit of a double-edged sword. Miracle is trying to play close here at the top of blue. Doom, he's rotated back down to the side. It's around the mini-mark. This is where you want to start to consolidate a little bit if you can.
Oh, miss nade.
Nade goes in, but it bounces unfavorably for Shaiko. Miracle is still hanging on here at this point. He's got to be trying to play this with his life. He might not be able to make that rotation and get himself back into the site.
I think they have him. Caught in a trap. Still for BDS, going to take a bit of time. Nobody really moving, which is surprising. They're giving Miracle time to maybe line up a shot and just waste more time. Here we go. The drop comes in from Solotov. Miracle still holding on and somehow picks up a kill before the trade comes back in. It is going to be an even man camp for both sides. Wall not opened up either, though, and they've still that one Thermite charge that they can try and use, but look at this from Shaiko just in the middle of the bomb site.
Shaiko's going to have to make something happen here. He can look to try and cut off the players, but they're not being given a reason to move right now. There's only 10 seconds left, and he's in a very off position right now. He's going to try and catch them as they go to deny the plant. Brede, he's repositioned. Shaiko comes through, finds one as a down. Leaky Fact, he doubles down onto it. The plant will be successful. Brede downed in the process. All square at a 2 versus 2, but look who's on the hatch. We've got Leaky Fact. He's rotated. He's got himself above. This is going to be a very difficult position to try and get him out of. There's not much of Leaky Fact showing right now, and Adrian finds that out. You've got to get yourself up the main stairs. You've got to try and retake that ground, but these are both 1 versus 1s right now. It's just about winning your engagement, and Shaiko's so good at it. Finds the first. Leaky Fact cleans Adrian inside of open there.
What a round from Shaiko. Season opening, slips into the heart of the bomb site and just ruptures the whole defense for Secret. Have to highlight as well, Brede repositioning the plant right beside Shaiko, knowing that he's going to be safe to plant there because Shaiko can just have that immediate cover. And once that diffuser goes down with someone on the hatch, no go from there for Secret.
You've got to hit a live shot. You have to hit a live shot to get Leaky back off the hatch, or you've got to be lucky on the flank. And you've got to catch BDS slipping. Neither of those two things happened.
No.
Neither of those two things happened at all. BDS are going to take a lead here. We're going to get to see some of the best bits right now. That was one of them leading up into the start of the round. And the work that Leakyfat was able to do from the hatch there, he's pulling the strings and he's barely left open.
Do you know what else is another really good point to think about? Is that they got that early kill with the Dokkaebi, who was able to get into the cams.
Yeah.
The kind of coverage that you'd have on the site, there would have been a Valkyrie camera inside inside a CC to try and stop that plant feed some information. As soon as the cameras get hacked, you know, you have one of two options for the defense. Either you shoot them out yourself,
Yeah.
or you just allow that information. They're not going to allow that information to go over to the side of BDS, so then you take out the cameras. That then allows Shaiko just to slip in.
It just nullifies the operator entirely at that point. You can choose whether to keep the information available or whether to just get rid of it yourself. I think Miracle did a great job of playing on blue. He's playing
waste a lot of time.
now. He did waste a lot of time, and there's a world where, honestly, he clutches that up. I think BDS did stutter a little bit on dealing with him, but it just goes to show the power of the Fenrir. It can be so devastating to try and push through those FNATs, that blinding effect.
He was Deimos as well. The fact that he got a kill while being Deimos,
Well, that's
everything
it.
going into it.
Still got a kill while being Deimos, so it did just go to show how much pressure BDS were putting onto that. And again, here they're looking for that opening. They're looking for that kill from the windows, from Repel, from that safety of outside.
Yes, the thing about Bank isn't it's all the windows that you can just sit on and have a great time from an attacking perspective. I've sent in some of the RAM gadgets. Of course, we are dealing with an open area. Keep that in mind. It's not Tellers and Archives. They're just going to try and clear out Tellers and Archives to have an easier time of pushing into that kitchen side of things. But just looking at the general kind of setup for BDS, they're just focused on trying to see what they can opportunity spot, seeing what is going to be the weak points here from Secret. And right now for Secret, just on that kind of surface of things, it's going to be these guys upstairs. I wouldn't say they're in great positions to kind of trade off each other. You know, Janitor towards, you know, the front desk, they're very far away, and even in towards stock, which I think Savage actually slipped into as well. So if BDS can isolate these kills and just don't allow Secret to get those trades back, it's that same thing. If you allow BDS to play from ahead, they will ruin you.
Shaiko will make his entry here at the top of square stairs. Cautious about Archives below. May just want to come and sit and watch that flank for a while, and he's maybe got a chance of catching Savage, depending on how itchy his feet get, but it's going to be Usus again here with an opening. Kill's going to flurry. BDS on top. 4 versus 2 right now as everything's gone their way. A double for Usus, a Miracle left in the clutches inside a copy. It's no position to be playing. It's no position to mount a comeback. Shaiko, he'll grab the last.
So where BDS just kick into a new gear. It's a beautiful game that they play. We know the levels that they can have, but Secret, they need to rally. They need some support, I think, Manchester, to get them back into this game.
Well, they've got the crowd behind him.
Is that enough?
There isn't much more that they could ask for in terms of environment right now. The stage is electric. The crowd is sending that energy through. The only problem is that BDS are 2 rounds away from taking the map and advancing through into the semis. I rate that meme.
Any drones?
I rate that meme.
Any droners? I mean, you'd hope that there isn't going to be much of that with a Solus on board. You know, another very strong operator. I haven't really mentioned, but that's just the way the meta is at the moment. So many strong defenders. Savage, it's one of his kind of signature operators he's played throughout the stage. Great kit, great set of guns that you have. You know, even EFAC has been showcased some of the shotgun plays you can do as well from below with a Solus. So very versatile in the role that she can have. But for Secret, they will go in that top floor site. Obviously, windows is going to be the big thing that you have to look at, and there are some jump outs being prepped by Savage, but look at the Monty being brought on by Brid. That's just going to be just pushed in either towards square or straight up the spiral stairs. That's the 2 great options you have for the Monty on this map, just to gain that bit of early control in towards the building. But there is also EFAC on the Amaru, Ollie. I have a feeling that there'll be only one way that'll be going.
It's chalk and cheese, isn't it? You've got the Monty, who's the slow and steady, the drone. They're going to gather that information. But then you've also got LeakyFac, who is on the Amaru.
They're going to use the Monty as the bait and then send EFAC straight up the hatch.
So you've got the quick play on one side, you've got the slow play on the other, you've got the Lion Scan coming out right now. Solotov is going to be watching there in towards stock. It's all about making sure that EFAC is allowed to get up there safely.
Oh, here comes the dump. Usus with the bees. No kills yet, though. Nothing has really happened on the side of BDS. In comes the Lion Scout. Look at this information that Brady has found. There is somebody right beside him in towards Janner. EFAC on the swing up. 2 downs on the Secret. BDS's attackers work to a T. EFAC swinging in with the SMG. But Grubby denies him and tries to go for the revive, but thinks against it. Players could be flooding in. As we speak, and here comes Shaiko with the air 2 players found. A trade still back in the LMG from Miracle. All on to Miracle now. But he's face of that Monty, who can slow the pace right down, give the information, and he gets sent into next week.
A brilliant pocket play there from BDS. We were thinking that it was Secret that was going to be bringing out the pocket plays in this series, but that is straight out of the BDS playbook. The setup there to enable LeakyFact, it didn't even go flawlessly. It worked, and they won the round, but he was at the top of the hatch and full white flashed straight away. He still manages to get the kill because there was the ping and he knew exactly where that player was. As soon as he gets up, he just starts shooting and bang, the flashbang goes off, and you just think, oh, the timing of all of that. It still worked out favorably for BDS. They have now put themselves onto a match and series point right now.
I love this game. My word. BDS have applied a firm grip over on Secret. 3 rounds in a row is what is needed to keep Secret alive in this competition. Can they do it? It's going to be tough.
10 seconds.
BDS, look on it.
No timeout available.
No timeout.
Don't forget.
Yeah. This is it. This is where Secret need to step up.
I don't think BDS have used the timeout all series long.
They have not.
They didn't use it on the first half of Chalet. They haven't used it, and they haven't needed to use it. They don't want to break this momentum that they have right now. The pressure is all on Secret. There's a chance they can win 3 rounds in a row. We see that happen a lot inside a siege.
Something very similar that happened to them in the regular stage. I think BDS were like 6-4 up. Secret came back, were actually winning 7-6 at a time. So we've seen Secret do it before against this side. Of course, different circumstances, different map, different everything right now.
Different stakes, different pressure.
Here we go. Potential, the final round of this series. Amaru, again, being brought in by EFAC. He's looking to get in towards that top floor, and away he goes.
Gets himself straight in under the cover of the Lion. It isn't quite as flashy as last time. No immediate red ping or yellow ping for him to work from, but he does still have a drone at his feet. He's going to try and open here, up into Jactors, and he's going to take out Doom and just continue to open the wall, casual as anything. The C4, it's too late. LeakyFact, he's transitioned, he's on the other side of the hatch, still takes damage, but it isn't a trade.
Oh, they're looking for Savage now. Shaiko lands a few shots, but Savage still stays firm. Does he have the hatch open? A nade will be tossed in. It doesn't look as though it is going to be open for him. Savage playing for his life. He now moves close to the window. Impact out through. Will he surprise Shaiko? Not today. Miracle has found EFAC, but Grubby gets the kill back. And that will be evened up into the 3 versus 3. Here comes Usus with the Vendetta in hand, but now thinks against it as we just slow the pace down ever so slightly.
Still got a couple of options he can track inside of Deimos. Can hop into the drone now. Adrian just going to place out some goo mines on this main stair. Don't forget, this is a basement defense, and a lot of action has happened upstairs. It isn't unusual, but it's cost both teams greatly at this point. Hard Breach is still available for BDS, so walls can still be opened.
Look at the positions from BDS. They're all by themselves, so there's going to be no options for refrags. And look at the position of Secret. They can double up, they can try and take these kills, and that's what they're doing. But Brede is in the middle of the bomb site, but it doesn't matter as 2 kills have went in favor of Secret. Brede has to clutch up.
Well, Brede can use an exothermic to get himself into the basement, but look at the positioning of these final 2 players. They know exactly what they've got here. They've got time on their side. And Brede, he could have dropped himself into basement. He could have tried to get a plant down, but there is information available. Adrian and Grubby not taking a single chance there. They were playing back-to-back right there. They didn't want to break that down and give themselves up one at a time.
Just Secret have went, let's go at them. Let's go at a bang. Let's go full aggro. Again, you won't see that really be done all too often on the kind of basement. Is this heavy attitude roam game where almost like the open area becomes the center point of the map where all the action goes down. I mean, BDS, they were up for the fight again. They brought that aggressive lineup. The Lion combo that with the Amaru to get EFAC into those strong, aggressive positions. But Secret, I love the way that they doubled up. I think that was really impressive for me. BDS were just so segregated by themselves, not being able to assist one another. That just shows the difference. 2v1s are a lot easier than 1v1s.
We said that Secret had the environment they needed there. They had the energy from the crowd in that previous round. Did it work? Was that the little difference maker for that round? Potentially. The only thing is they can't go down to the basement again.
Nope.
That is going to be locked on out of there. BDS are going to be mindful of that. no cause for concern just yet. They will be going into open area now, which was won inside of round 8 by BDS. It's the users round, which, I mean, there's been a couple of them so far, to be honest with you. There's no basement to really hunker down into this time. I mean, is it going to matter, Demo? Because the basement, the site didn't really matter in the previous round. It was just the fashion that Secret played it in.
Just sack off the sites. It's about how you're playing as a team right now. And for Secret, it's staying together, winning those engagements. BDS have left themselves pretty open to be ganged up on the way that they've been playing. It's up to Secret to take advantage of that. But for BDS, they're going to look to try and maybe slow the pace down. It's not as ferocious as what it was the last round, the round before. And a lot more passive operators being brought in. And Grubby with the opening pick. Solotov, who really is kind of, I would say, fell by the wayside these past couple of attacking rounds, Ollie.
There's a couple of players from BDS that have fallen by the wayside since getting on the attack. They did great work on the defense, but since getting onto that attack, they've not found that success. It's the IQ to get sent out again, so Electronics will be safe. Shaiko picks a brilliant kill there onto Gruby. Straight through the side there, and he looks like he knows there's a player in stock. Shaiko,
gonna be Adrian,
like a bull to a red rag at the moment. Adrian will drop himself down, keeps himself safe for the time being. Half of the round burned, and you picked up an opening kill. Leaky Fact will find him on the rotation though. Leaky Fact, such a devastating player. He's always in the right place at the right time to catch those players rotating.
Oh, he's a rat. He's a rat the way he's played that one. Just lurks from below up the stairs, catches Adrian by surprise, and once again, Secret are behind. Now for BDS, it's about getting in towards Square, get that quad wall open. They still have one charge from users that they can use, and I suppose Brady could try and use a hard breach gadget, but it's going to be very difficult to do so. Everyone from Secret look as though that they just want to try and play together and play off the trades. Shaiko, is he looking for a drop perhaps? I mean, it is open for him, the hatch is there to be used. But look at what Brady is, Ollie. The diffuser outside of the window, surely he's not thinking about a copy window jump in.
There's 40 seconds, there's still quite a bit of time here for them to reposition themselves. Leaky Fact is going to send a call in and hop himself down to hack the cameras at this occasion. Can push himself right in aggressively. Savage, he's going to find himself one before being taken out, but Miracle, he's picking him up as well. Leaky Fact, the only player left. He's stuck here on beepers in a 1 versus 3. For all the time that BDS had, for all the information, it's going to come close. It's going to come down to the wire. Stun goes in. Leaky Fact, he's found one. He's got to try and split these two apart. He picks the first. He's down to the SMG. There's 5 seconds left. It is Swungo. Leaky Fact! What a clutch for 1 versus 3 that never should have been! It sends BDS through into the semi-finals.
Unbelievable! What a way to send your team into the semi-finals! Secret, they had it in their hands to see out that round, but EFAC snatches it away from them, and Secret go home. BDS continue on their journey to lift that trophy.
The hope of an entire region on BDS's shoulders right now. They are the last hope for Europe that remains inside of the competition. An extremely close final round. What a way to go through as well. Demo, we've had our say. Let's hear what our wonderful desk has to say, and they're going to break it down for you.
Well, there it is. BDS get it done in 2, taking Secret's map in Chalet. These guys are well and truly on fire. Europe's last hope here in Manchester. They've now got their crowd completely on side. And we are now joined by Leaky Fact, the man who just closed things out there in absolutely emphatic fashion. Crowd love you, Leaky Fact. Welcome to the semi-finals. What's this mean to you?
I mean, I need to go down after this this clutch. But thank you everyone for the motivation. We give our best with this crowd, so just I'm happy to be there.
Yes.
I think especially today I've seen you like have crazy moments, crazy clutch, crazy comebacks. But in general, I think you were always strategically on top of your game. I saw something that was very clear to me is that some of the times you were completely avoiding the roamers and hitting sides directly multiple times. Is that something that was part of the game plan in the prep before the match?
Yeah, I guess we have some plan like this, but also like a lot of shot call in the team during the game. And on some round, like on the first map, we were like, okay, guys, we don't push that much together. In bank, I think we were much better in attack.
Can we show you your clutch? I know you're still on the come down from it, but I think we've got it, his highlights right here to run it back. I mean, Fresh, talk us through it as LickyFact watches this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're in a 1 versus 3 LickyFact, it's just about identifying 1v1 engagements. For me, this is personally the play that I like the most, is sticking on the right side as you're going on the door, and then you get the down. But what's going through your head when it's 4 seconds left and it's 1 versus 1 like that?
I try to play only with my brain. That's why I didn't run instantly on him, because I know he will pre-fire the left.
Yep.
So I hide on the first time. So when he didn't saw me, he was like, okay, he can be in the small office or pushing me.
Yep.
And after I take the gun 5 at the last second.
And then just one quick question from me. What's the biggest difference for you when you're going from playing inside of the arena, no crowd, and you know you have to step it up? What's the biggest change for you between the two?
This is amazing. Like we hear everyone helping us during rounds. Even when it was secret, we were like, okay guys, you are for secret, no problem. We'll show you. You have to be with BDS. And no, this is amazing. It's completely different than the phase 2.
LickyFact, we were saying earlier that last time your team made a roster change, you went on to win a major. How are you feeling right now about your current teammates?
I don't want to say anything about this. I don't want to be Karma, but I'm confident with the team. Used a lot of really amazing players. Shaco, Bride, everyone know them. So yeah, we have the potential to win, but let's see.
I'm not going to say that BDS is scared of anybody, but we've got some tough competition here in Manchester. Any teams stand out to you that could give you a little bit of trouble?
To be honest, no. We'll give our best against every team, but I want to play against Furia. So we have to go in grand final and them as well to take our revenge. And saying that if we win the major, we deserve it against the team who won everything last year.
That's the sort of thing we like, isn't it? That is true sportsmanship and competitive nature. Ladies and gentlemen, LickyFact and BDS! All right, well, commiserations to Team Secret. It was quite the run. They were in, fantastic form coming into the main stage here, Leo. And do you think there's an argument that maybe they had, because of their success, too long of a break before they were back in action here?
Yeah, I talked to Twister yesterday about this. How do you manage to keep the same momentum? Because clearly they had the hype when they came in. They had plenty of momentum to take down the best teams in the world, right? The Dark Zero phase. And then they had this 3-day break, which was kind of hard for them, I think, to really keep the same hype. Whereas for BDS, they actually came fresh from these struggles in the phase 2 and so many more matches. I think that can actually help them. And then on top of that, overall, there is a show of experience here. BDS has showed why they were the favorites. They didn't struggle, they weren't shaky, everything was on point. Even in these tough moments, like this 1v3 clutch from LickyFact, he actually ran us through it. I think the best thing here is the flash. He actually is burning the flash so he can isolate the second 1v1.
Yeah.
That's the kind of cold blood that you need to see at this moment in really high pressure moments.
So we know what went right for BDS. Fresh, what went wrong for Secret?
I don't think anything went wrong, to be honest. I think they can be happy with their performance. There's arguments to say, like across the board, is in EUL, they maybe overperformed to actually reach the major, right? This is still a relatively new team. This is still a relatively young team. In the context of EU's established teams, think G2, think Fnatic, for example, think Virtus.pro. There's a lot of established teams that they beat out to even get to the major. Then they obviously went all the way through phase 2. But again, you could also argue, again, overachieved potentially. And I think this is about the learning experience. They were competitive today. They will look back on it and think there were rounds where we could have won. Even on Chalet, where LickyFact gets that big double, the clutch there, we could still be playing right now, but for a little bit of magic from BDS. So I don't think Team Secret needs to be too hard on themselves. No. I don't think they were too bad at all, to be honest.
This roster looks like it's clicking. I don't think anybody needs to be hitting the panic button anytime soon. Leo, let's talk about BDS when it comes to controlling the pace.
Yeah, they were controlling the pace on every side. I think attack, defense, whatever. And in very various manner, right? Some of the time they were super early aggressive, and then in defense they would bring Tuberose, smoke on basement and play super slow. Now let's take a look at this round. It's one of the only round that Secret was able to put in attack. And it's to show that BDS, even when they lose, are the ones that are controlling the pace. Here, the clear win condition, look, 2 spawn kills outside. There was a clear game plan from BDS here. Secret's playstyle revolves around confidence.
Yep.
What do you do to counter that? You play even more aggressive. You go even more in the face. You control the storyline of every round, whether it's being aggressive early, whether it's playing passive.
And that's the thing as well, is it's pressure at that moment in time as well, right? Because Secret were already 1 map down. They're then facing elimination, and BDS were just like, we don't want to give them a second to think. Like Leo said, control the pace, get in their face, don't give them any time to play, and make them play reactive siege rather than proactive siege. It was BDS forcing all of the issues, forcing all of the gunfights, and then Secret are then just drawn into playing BDS's game.
Leo, I know you've got another clip for us as well regarding BDS's open attacking style.
Yeah, so again, to show the versatility in their strategy, in defense, yes, they were controlling the pace by chaining aggressive or not. But in attack, what was even more impressive is their opportunity seeking. We're on open space bomb site, right? Everybody would clear the roamers upstairs. They just don't care. They're going to completely ignore the roamers, and they're going to go for a 1 floor take directly hitting site. That's Liquefact calling here, I assume. He's rushing into open space. Yuzus gets an opening pick on the stairs. He gets the pick on the side. We turn for a 5v5 into a 4v2 in a matter of seconds. 1 minute left in the round. Look at this. They already have the control of the site. They didn't even bother clearing anything. That's the kind of opportunity seeking that you see at top tier level. Actually, one of the biggest strengths of Brazil as a region in FaZe and Furia is that opportunity seeking. Being able to see BDS on top of their methodical playstyle, being able to seek this kind of things, and have this level of awareness is crazy good. Yeah. And it's an announcement of maybe they're just the right team to finally beat a Brazilian team and win a major.
All right, just briefly, any Shaiko fans in the building? Popped off on map 2. I imagine we're going to see plenty more from him as well. Let's take a look at the bracket, shall we? Our first time completing a best of 3. And as you can see, Team BDS sitting pretty there. EU's final hope. They will take on the winner of Dark Zero versus M80 a little bit later on.
Yeah, and they're going to be having to sit and wait because that's the very final game of today. They're going to be waiting a long time to watch that, but they'll be confident whoever they're against. And I think Liquefact summed it up perfectly. It's like, we are confident in ourselves no matter who we want to play. Like you said, he's already thinking about a potential grand final against Furia. He's never going to say, this game's done. Of course he's not. But they'll be feeling very confident.
Well, we called it the last dance when they were W7M in Sao Paulo. It's time for another one. They're about to hit the dance floor again, this time as Team Furia versus the legendary Team Liquid. That's our next quarterfinal after the break.